Hello, everyone and no one. Welcome to another Talking Into the Void. Decided to start going a little earlier today. But with me, as always, if he's not preoccupied at the moment, is Tyr Alexander. Tyr, how you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
Eh, not so bad.
That's good
Uh,
to hear.
is Angela back, or did she step away for
I'm
a
here.
moment? And join us as well as Angela. Angela, how you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
Oh, not so bad. And join us as well as Will at Forge. Will, you there, or did you step away?
Void be void.
Well, at least
Mm.
I can say that if my folks do decide to move, of all the shit I have to move out of their house, I'll have to check with my dad. But I think a 10-foot by 20-foot storage unit should fit all of it and give me some room to spare.
Nice.
Well, I don't know exactly how much I need because, like I said last night, I got to fit a car in there, toolbox, plethora of other stuff.
Well, 10 by 20 is a decent size, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the one place that's right near my apartment, like they fucking have the 10 by 20 for like 122. I think it's a month.
That sounds about right.
We are monthly.
Yeah. And I might talk with them being like, hey, how much is it going to cost me for a year? Can I get a discount for a year?
They tend to do those types of deals.
Because if I can go through and pay for it outright, then I can at least have it in there and not have to worry about it. The only thing that sucks is it's not climate controlled, so I'd have to go through and get some desiccants and shit like that because it's Michigan and it gets humid.
Yeah.
And I live in Holland, so I'm like less than 10 miles from the fucking lake. But I'm like 3 miles, I'm not even 3 miles from a fucking river. But we're going to start things off differently. So, for anyone who knows about the Democratic Convention was going on, there was a Texas DNC delegate who was robbed at gunpoint in Chicago.
Oh
I
no!
think so.
And apparently, there have been 27 shootings since the beginning of the DNC convention.
In other words, your
Oh,
typical
no.
week in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just, that's just way too goddamn funny, in my opinion.
Yep, and you get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to scroll Twitter and see something like that, to have a scene from a movie to where, goes, let me get this straight. An anti-gun Texan visited gun control Chicago and got robbed at gunpoint. Just,
yeah, you can't make that stuff up.
dude, after some of the shit I've heard on Creepcast and seen in movies and everything, yes, you can. I know a lot of people like to use that, like, you can't make this up. And I'm like, that's because you don't understand the depths of the human imagination.
Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction.
That's why every time I
Truth is usually stranger than fiction.
That's why I always hate when they would use that shit in like sports broadcasts, and they'd be like, he's at the 10, the 20, like the 5, the 1, touchdown. You can't write, it's like, you can't write or make this stuff up. And it's just like, yeah, you can. It's a fucking sport.
They're being rhetorical.
Oh, and there's a flag on the play. Well, you see, when they throw a flag, they might have to redo what they did because they threw a flag. Thanks, John.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's the usual, because I've seen like, you're a smart ass, Carl. I will still say every town's freaking Twitter, they are a bunch of bitches. Because they straight up lock all of their tweets. You cannot reply to them. You can only quote tweet them.
Who?
Every town. Like they're short for Every Town for Gun Safety, but they had just the Twitter handle of Every Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what he was talking about either.
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of have this issue that they sit on a throne of lies, so they can't take the feedback.
Oh, that's many anti-gunners.
Oh no.
My-
You're calling us out on our bullshit.
That was like,
Isn't that just people?
to a point, but what I was also going to bring up is like that was like watching Scribes thing on Thursday and hit like the David Hogg one, and he's like, "Oh, we're not backed by," it's like, by big corporations. Like, you get money from Michael Bloomberg. I don't want to hear fuck all out of your goddamn mouth.
Yeah,
You're lying,
Are-
whore. You don't want to hear nothing out his line, whore.
What'd you say, Angela?
I can't even remember for sure. Sorry.
Like everyone talked at once and whatnot, and no, I wouldn't call his hole a whore hole because like whores are useful.
Ooh.
Whores provide
Bangarang rotten.
whores provide a service many people actually want.
And you forgot the shield, my friend, but I'll do it for you.
No, I got it on. Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't go through all the goddamn Discord. Son of a bitch.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
I
I got your back.
I got a little tied up. I'll go through and do this real quick. And goddamn, boom mic, go up a little bit. I think I need to buy a better one.
a better what?
Boom mic, and a boom, not the
Boom?
mic, but boom.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the one that I use for you because I've
There you go.
not been unhappy with it. I've had to replace it once because it just wore out, but I've not been unhappy with it.
I mean, this was the one I bought while I was in Okinawa and whatnot, and it's just got some springs and shit to it. It's a relatively inexpensive one because again, it was that let's try this out.
Yeah.
So I bought that in like 2019. Here it is, 2024. I spent maybe $40 on it. It's paid for itself.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it's earned the right to give up the ghost.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. I tend to. God, it sounds terrible sometimes, but it's like I tend to wear things out.
Yeah, well.
Well, you know, you grow up around a lot of people that are that way and learn to do it because that way you can spend money on other stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You're Green Badger.
Because you can't justify getting new things if the old things aren't broken.
Pretty much, if
Exactly.
they're not beyond repair.
Yeah, well, I tend to break things beyond repair, so
It's like I've been having the whole thing looking. It's like, oh, I don't really need new grips for a couple of my guns, but I wouldn't mind new grips for a couple of my guns that I don't even really shoot that often. But you know, sometimes you just want them to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what have y'all been up to today?
Working.
Trying
And
to
doing that
ignore
poorly.
pain.
What'd you say, Angela?
Trying to ignore pain. It's been a rough I was out all week last week. Doctor's appointments and my insurance test and all of that. And my body is punishing me for it. And it's going to be the same thing this week because I have doctor's appointments and my visit with my mom.
I hope everything goes well.
say Silly you for going out.
Well, unfortunately, doctors here don't do home visits. So
Yeah, they don't do home visits here either, so.
No, you got to be rich for that shit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I guess not until freaking Wednesday, but I'm still like just starting to get that whole thing of like, oh yeah, I got my fucking appointment with the VA to see how that goes.
Again, I hope everything goes well for you too.
Well, mine's just starting to claim to see how things go and whatnot.
Same rules apply. You doubt me, I will fucking kill you. Yeah, I said it.
I mean, the nice thing at least I have going for me is since a buddy of mine, I just found out recently that he's now at 100% VA because his fucking back went out on him at work, and it's the result of a injury from being in the military.
Oh man.
So, yeah, he got to go through, so he knows how to upgrade so much of that shit. So, or to go through the process. So I'm like, well, at least I know I have someone else backing me, and I don't have to look at some of the other services.
It's sad what they're doing to our veterans. Uh,
Well, they run you
Fucking
ragged.
yeah, they do, but they shouldn't.
All right. Then we gotta go over here to like one of those meta review fucking sites and whatnot.
Yeah, I dropped a link in the Discord chat for the call to the boom that I use.
Ah.
It's not pricey.
Yeah, this is one like I've got already, and that one's starting to wear out. So I'm looking at a couple others, like one that's even designed for my the one that goes with my mic.
Specifically for the mic. Well, that's always
Yeah,
a bonus.
Actually, this one has some of the stuff for it too.
Oh.
I mean, this one, I think that one's about identical to what I have. I don't even remember when the fuck I bought mine.
Yeah, and then I added a shock mount so that it's hovering amongst a bunch of springs instead of sticking on a stiff arm. Well, rubber bands.
Oh, and the one one of the ones I'm looking at that comes through that's through the actual company might actually be pretty nice considering the fact like I might be able to set my mic a little further back or something because it's going to be a lower profile one. Eh. All right, let's scroll through some Twitter, see if we can find anything else we want to go with.
Anything good on Twitter?
Apparently, the one came up that Gavin Newsom pulls a Karen when Target employee blames him to his face for shoplifting epidemic with "Where's your manager?"
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising that Gavin Newsom would do that. He's a fucking piece of shit.
He's an asshole.
And while comparatively to everything, I am still super glad that the fucking Democrats did not decide to run with him.
Yeah.
Please.
What, Angela?
I said I am definitely pleased. I have to deal with him here. I don't want to deal with him nationally.
Although the question would be, would he be able to take any state other than California and New York for certain?
I doubt he'll be able to take New York. And honestly, all they had to do is do what Ron DeSantis did, pull up the ship map. That's all he did. Pulled up a ship map.
Yeah, there is something to be said about your major cities having maps for people to avoid the drifts of needles and human feces in the streets.
Uh-huh.
Gross.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm just glad I don't live in San
Well, then it's the whole thing as well that it's like when you look at that, it's not even like necessarily the fact that it's the entire state of California or New York. It's a couple of the areas that just have the largest populations.
Yeah.
Because quite literally, if you were to cut California in half, like Northern California would be straight red damn near.
And this area right by the border.
That too.
I can see why they're reluctant to give away to cut to create the state of Jefferson.
What?
There was a while back there was a proposal to create the state of Jefferson, which would bisect California. It would literally split it in two.
Cool.
Yeah, but it went nowhere. They were reluctant to do it.
I would have been stuck in the crappy part, but
Do you know how West Virginia got formed?
yes, I am aware of what you're saying.
Yeah, and no, I wasn't trying to say it like that. I was just asking a general question because I wanted to tell the story.
Okay,
Uh,
I get it.
no.
It's just one of those. I did understand what you were saying. And
I still want to tell the story.
go ahead.
So West Virginia was one big ass state, and the more rural side was ruled by the urban side, which would be where West Virginia is now. The rural side. The rural side wanted to leave, but the urban side said no, you can't. Our Constitution says you can't go, and the federal government said that you have to get approval from us to split. So during the Civil War, when West Virginia seceded from the Union, the people that wanted to leave said, "Oh well, technically you're no longer part of the Union, so all the rules you given up was all the Union rules, so we can leave," and they split. So West Virginia became its own state because they left the Union.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume in order for the state of Jefferson to be formed, it would have to be a similar situation. You leave the Union, and well, you're no longer part of the Union, so we don't have to follow those rules. It probably would also work for like the side of there's a group that wants to split from Oregon and I think join Montana, or I can't remember. It's one they wanted to split from Oregon and go to another state, like the neighboring state. It's interesting that this shit happens at all.
And the problem is if we wanted to kick the West Coast out, which actually wouldn't be such a terrible thing to do, kick them out and then let parts of them come back, is we lose people like Angela.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the only shitty part, honestly.
No, we just do our own underground railroad type thing. I mean, in all reality, I'm still kind of tempted to say what we ought to be doing is, since for so many of them that they love so many, other countries that aren't America, we offer them a free trip to that country, or it's like, but
I'm all for
a
that.
non, Western country. They have to go to one of these communist countries they like.
I say that we send them to Ukraine.
No, because
Why send them to the Ukraine? Why not send them to Israel?
Well, they hate the Israelites, and I'm pretty sure
Send
they're
them to
dealing with
Palestine.
Hamas.
that's what I was gonna say. If they're going the whole thing of like pro Palestine, fuck it, let's send them to Palestine. If they want to be like, well, I don't
Again,
really care
they're
about
all
that
for
one.
Ukraine.
Oh, we can do that. We'll send them to one of those countries, and they can help defend over there.
You know what, Ryan? I'm going to compromise with you. We'll split it down the middle. Half can go to Ukraine, and half can go to Palestine.
Well, no, because there's going to be some that don't really want to go to either. And what's up, Mitch? And instead
Yo,
of doing
Mitch.
that one, the ones that have anything pro Palestine there, that if they have less pro Ukraine than they do pro Palestine, they get sent to Palestine. If they have more Ukraine and they do Palestine, they go to Ukraine. And if they don't have any of those, they go to North Korea.
Bryden, you are a scholar and a gentleman, and I agree with that sentiment.
And then
I
scrolling
want to
Twitter,
banish all the commies to commie land.
yeah, I keep seeing the fucking dumb shit about the Acolyte not getting to season 2 and people blaming the people that didn't watch it, saying that
boom fucking
well,
hood.
they're the ones saying like, well, these people got it canceled. It's like, no,
No, it got itself
I
canceled.
promise you, it was canceled because it sucked.
and it's like, oh, my favorite thing is the person who was like, okay, well, if the incel community and whatnot was such a low it's like percentage of Star Wars, and Star Wars was going strong, how'd the Acolyte get canceled?
Why are we a vocal minority when you're blaming us for the cancellation of your own show? Again, the Acolyte could have worked if they'd have done some key things. Said it way in the past.
And not just shit all over it.
Yeah.
Because that was like, well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, since Mitch is here in that, and I'm surprised you got ad block warnings, Johnny. Womp Stomp Films had a thing about that, or Studios. Can't remember. I am film, but a person was basically saying like, oh, you can't do anything with that because of blah blah blah. Like, no, you can go through, and like we've discussed with Mitch as well, to where you can still change small things and even sometimes major things, but you still have to have enough appreciation and loyalty to the actual franchise. You can't just shit all over it.
Again, if you'd have set this shit, if you'd have set this shit far enough where it did not matter, you don't have them be Convergence in the Force. Don't have them be Born of the Force. Set it so far that the events of the canon universe is untouched. Have at it. Fertile territory. Oh, you want to say that, like, you want to set it where it's Nihilust's master? Okay, we don't know much about Nihilus. Go right ahead. Shit, you could have had the thread.
Well,
God damn it, where the hell is
they
that
just kept
at?
wanting to go through and
shit over everything.
Well, not just shit over everything, but basically make the change because, okay, let's be honest. When the prequels came out and episode 1 came out and they started talking metachlorians and all that shit, and people were like, the fuck is going on with this shit? Like, that shit's retarded.
And Clone Wars erased it.
Yeah, and then it just was, and then after that, it was never talked about again. So in this one, they're like, oh, well, we're going to go through and just say, no, the original thing for the Force was started by a group of Force-using lesbian witches.
Lesbian space witches.
Space witches, which there have been a thing of like...
The Night Sisters.
Not necessarily that, like, you deal with a couple, or at least one of them in the Force Awakens, Force Unleashed.
The Daffodil Night Witches. Yo, Hellcat. Disney said, "Hold my Miralax." I don't mind people. When you create entertainment, you gotta create it for everybody. It's not, or you gotta focus on a single audience and know your audience. The those people who want this diversity shit, they don't pay for your fucking they're not buying your product.
Nobody's buying their product. That's their problem.
That too. You know, and then trying to turn a male brand into a female brand does not work. You can't force female heroes on males. Not to say that there aren't female action heroes. Ellen Ripley.
I was gonna say, if they're actually heroes, you don't have to force them on anyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
the thing is when it comes to that is, and this is one of the few ones where I'll say it's like you got to use the old tried and true method of basically they got to have trials and tribulations and they're going to have to fail.
Otherwise, they're boring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because like we got to
But
see
you know-
with Sarah Connor going from the first one to not being a hero to the second one to being more of a hero.
Yeah. And you also they gotta realize two things. Not to say there are not physically strong women in the world. There are. And I recognize that. But most 110-pound girl is not taking down a 250-pound man physically. She's not fighting him on the same level she would another guy would. She's not going to be kickboxing him like a dude. He's going to shove her around.
Yeah, exactly. And if she does, it is going to be difficult. She is not going to have an easy time of it.
All right, so I don't know where I said this, but there's this anime called The Shadow Skills, and most people, it's really old, but in that anime there were two styles of fighting: the front skills, which relied on brute strength and physical force, which is used by the males, and then there was the shadow skills, which relied on kicks. Now these two styles were designed by slaves. Since the females weren't physically strong, they were agile. And they used their agility to their advantage. Instead of having strong blows, they have swift kicks. And they could fucking decimate people. It played to the female strengths. And that's what people should be doing. A female, you can have a 110-pound girl defeating a 250-pound man if she plays to her strength, like being faster than he is. She isn't trying to overpower him. She's trying to hit him with shit and get out and dodge.
And she's using her legs, which are stronger than her arms.
Yeah, and he's trying to grab her, and she just fucking him up.
It's interesting to know that they can take a person down 10%.
But again, this still wouldn't. And again, females can be action heroes, but they gotta play to their strengths. And some of the better female action heroes fought for ideals. Ellen Ripley, for her protecting Newt, made her fucking take down an alien queen.
Get your hands off of her, you bitch.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the mama bear, though. There's one place where a woman is always going to stand a strong chance of overpowering a man, if only just through sheer fury and stubborn tenacity.
Look at Sarah Connor. In the first one, she wasn't as strong. She was protecting her unborn child, which she didn't know was unborn yet. And then in the second movie, she was a fucking monster.
because
She was protecting her
had-
son.
Okay. Number one, she wasn't protecting her unborn child. She
She
wasn't
protected herself.
pregnant yet. She got pregnant during the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Reese. Wow.
Number two,
Hey, spoilers.
Man, it's only
there
been like
are no
30 years.
spoilers to a movie that's like
Ancient.
almost as old as I am.
I don't say I've seen it more than once, and I don't care that much about spoilers. I just like to mess with people on it.
I know.
You know, or you could have
But in this case, I'm more like, if you haven't seen it by now, what the hell is holding you up? It's a great movie.
Yeah, and well, I know there are more people who are going to shit on Predator 2. I still say it's worth the watch because that's god damn it, I can't remember his name. Because it was only Terminator was the only one he was technically in the first movie. But he's the one person to be killed by, he's one of two people to be killed by a xenomorph, a Terminator, and a Predator.
you talk about the guy who played Kyle Reese and Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Not Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Sorry, I was right there. Bill Paxton.
Which wasn't the guy to play Kyle Reese. He was one of the punks in the beginning.
Ah,
That was Michael Biehn that played Bill Paxton. Played Kyle Reese.
Bill Paxton was being played by Michael Biehn.
No. Kyle Reese was being played by Michael Biehn.
Because that's like
Bill
Starring
Paxton
Kyle Reese as Kyle Reese.
as Bill
Sorry,
Paxton.
Kyle Reese. That's
Wouldn't
Bill
have had to
Paxton.
die if he would have just taken off his clothes and given the keys to the Terminator.
But like they were going to do that.
Game over, man. Game over. I still love that line.
Yes, Bill Paxton was in Freeman. We just said that.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting short.
It was just pretty funny the fact that it's like he was in the sequel of Predator, sequel of Alien, but then he was in the first Terminator.
Man, he did a lot for James Cameron.
I was
Oh.
gonna say James Cameron really had
They
a
must have
thing
been.
for Bill
They
Paxton.
must have been friends. Like
it's
Helena
not like-
Bonham
it's-
Carter is always in Tim Burton's work.
So is Johnny Depp.
With Bill Paxton, it's not like he was the main character. No, what's up, Mr. Scott? Oh, I understand a lot of people have mixed feelings about Predator 2. Like, it is not
Yo, Mr.
the
Scott.
greatest movie.
Image.
I still say it's one you should watch at least once because, one, it's always funny seeing Gary Busey as a bad guy.
I don't think Gary Busey was a bad guy per se. He was the antagonist.
But, like, you know, it's that whole thing of, for Predator 2, it's like, quite literally, Bill Paxton gets the hero's death. Or gets a hero's
Oh
death.
yeah. Didn't Bill Paxton die in, like Speed?
Hmm?
Who was that
What?
died? Who was the guy that died in Speed, looking at the bomb and just stood there?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that
Not
movie in
Bill
20 years.
Paxton. I forget his real name. Jeff Daniels.
Ah,
I've actually never seen Speed. I've
I've
seen
seen-
like a couple minutes here and there, but
I've seen it at least once.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels was the guy that died at the beginning of Speed.
he looked at that bomb and was like, fuck.
Yeah, and the xenomorph skull being in the ship was neat, was also pretty stupid since they don't have like they're an exoskeleton, not an endoskeleton like we have.
What are you talking about?
Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
So it's like that whole thing for how it was didn't make a whole lot of sense. Then it spawned, AVP1 and AVP2, which are entertaining, but they are dumb fucking movies.
I think the first AVP was pretty good. The second one was just
Which one was the first one?
the one with Sanaa Lathan.
The one when they were in Antarctica,
Okay.
Yeah.
or one of the Arctics, anyways.
They were in
Space laser drilling a hole through the ice.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of that one because it fucks with the entirety of the alien lore of them wanting of Weyland Yutani wanting to bring the fucking aliens back to Earth because they think they could turn it into a
weapon.
a weapon.
Well, I mean, you take and you put that historically there and everything. It does kind of follow if they've figured out, because I mean, didn't they have like Mr. Whalen in that movie?
Yeah, one of the Whalens.
One of the whales. So you get the thing where they realize the aliens and they realize the weapons that they can be, and they do looking and like, oh hey, there aren't any more on planet Earth.
I like the notion that the predators have been here, and that they were, constantly coming and testing themselves, and the aliens were brought there by them. It makes sense in a weird way, at least to me.
Everybody's
Okay.
different in that whole thing.
Understandable.
I have this broad thing where I am easily entertained in movies, and will some things like really kick me out of the story and kick me out of suspension of disbelief and everything, I can usually find something that I enjoy in most movies. I had like one major, can't even find the name of the movie anymore. One major exception to that is this movie my ex picked one time from Blockbuster for movie night, and is some kind of French Death Knights story, and it was the dullest movie I have ever watched. I fell asleep watching 2001 Space Odyssey. I couldn't get through Sixth Sense. This one is even more dull.
Oh,
Wow. That must be
Oh.
dull. Because I couldn't get... Sixth Sense was good the first viewing. The second viewing was okay. And then when I started thinking about it, I realized M. Night Shyamalan is not a fucking genius.
No, he's not and never has been.
Oh, I think he's a genius at subverting expectations until you start
Pay attention.
expecting Shyamalan. And once you start expecting Shyamalan, that's all you get is formulaic Shyamalan.
Mm-hmm.
That man ruined he ruined Avatar with his horrible casting and his horrible choice, and then he had the nerve to put himself in it.
He's put himself in a couple of movies.
Lady in the Water,
Lady in
which
the
was
Water,
terrible.
which no.
Also, his more newest
Now.
one, Old. Old is actually not a bad. I think it's called Old. Old's actually not like a bad idea of a movie, but like
Old is a comic. Is a either a comic or a manga. I can't remember. I think it's a comic
it's either Old or The Beach.
where they started aging.
Yes.
It's a comic.
Yeah.
It was a comic, if I'm not mistaken, at first. God damn it! Where the hell is this damn thing?
I don't
Over
know.
there next to
Yeah.
the left.
AVP should have been done in the manner of Predators, where different species are dropped off on another planet.
Yeah.
I just like the notion that Sanaa Lathan has their mark and I really wish they would have played up that her character goes with them, because hey, She proves herself a hunter.
Yeah. I mean, that is done in one of the comics that they have, not of her, but of a different.
Yeah, there was a
human
human that was a honorary Yutang.
Yeah, because
who was
like
part of
when
their
you follow
clan.
the comics of like that are supposed to have both the aliens and the predators in the universe, it's theorized that what the xenomorphs are supposed to be is a basically species ending event.
In the comics, the Yutang, like anybody that could take down one of them got honored, and anyone that could take down a
No-
fucking alien hive
No,
was
I'm not
honored.
talking about the predators. I'm talking about in general. The predators are like
Oh yeah,
one of either the few or the only species that were able to get past that. Like the xenomorphs typically only appear when a species starts getting too big, too bold to where they're going to start going out and like fucking with everything else in the society. And just because of how the predators were, or the Yautja were, however the fuck they're pronounced,
Yutang. I call
Yautja,
them Yutang.
uh, they found out they could basically fucking hunt them.
Colonial Marines should be a spin-off series.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad one. Where are you?
That's Scooby Doo, not Alien vs. Predator.
Oh no, I'm playing CERN, not CERN, Chernobyl Life, and I'm trying to find this fucking object, and it's pissing me off.
Better than being pissed off.
Oh, depends.
Depends on what you're into.
Yep.
Yuck.
Yeah, well,
pass,
that's
thank you.
nasty.
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
God damn it! I've been here before. All right.
Was I can't really think of.
Well, I would hope so. You're here every week.
Colonial Marines would have been a good spinoff if
Colonial Marine sounds like something that should be going on during the Revolutionary War.
no so
I'd watch that. I would so watch that.
4 years ago we set forth on this nation.
On
Like-
this continent.
7 minutes ago, we started this Marine Corps.
Guys, I didn't say the Civil War. I said Revolutionary War.
That's why I
Lincoln-
said minutes.
That's why I was
and
like,
not-
Lincoln wasn't around then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had to make it so he stole it from them.
Oh, and that is very true. They are supposed to look different. Like that's one of the things I think they fucked up in AVP as well by having them in the woods. That I think one of the eggs should have gotten a deer or a bear, and then got to see a xenomorph based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we
'cause-
saw a xenomorph based off a dog in. Was it 3?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Alien.
Uh,
Three?
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor little Rottweiler.
Yeah. The one that wouldn't kill Ripley was incubated in the dog.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one as well to where she's actually a fucking clone?
No, that's
Oh,
4.
that's
that's four.
4.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
Number 8. How's our number 8 today?
So who gotta fuck to get off this boat?
It feels like that
The
sometimes.
one with
Yeah. So I can get you off. Maybe not the.
mhm. I still say the guy, the what was his name? The green-eyed guy from the pretty boy who had the guns attached to his wrist. He could have survived. He didn't have to sacrifice himself like that.
Which
Yeah.
movie are we talking about?
Alien
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Again, I
did not see
haven't
that.
seen it in a long time.
I haven't seen it in a long time either, but my memory is kind of good.
I had
I'm
no
a-
desire to watch Winona Ryder and
She isn't bad looking. She's kind of mousy.
I don't care how she looks.
She had that cute little mousy quality that I find endearing.
You're barking up the wrong trees here. You're not gonna win me over with how
I'm
you look.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying for me. I mean, maybe because I still remember her as Leah Dietz in Golf Get My Goat.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a good one. Of like, depending on what species they incubated in, depending on how they would hunt as well.
Yeah, that would be an interesting.
I would say my favorite Winona Ryder movie was probably Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael.
Favorite is always Beetlejuice.
Actually, my favorite Winona Ryder movie would be Lucas, but actually the main character was Corey Haim. It's just my favorite movie that she was in.
Ah,
And then Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael. That movie was just hilarious and weird.
okay. I've never seen it.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you either. Why am I going through this haunted fucking? I'm a fucking ass.
Oh god, I can't
Watch
believe
a
that video just
cargo
came.
ship full of xenomorph eggs come down in the middle of a zoo.
That'd be fucking terrifying.
Oh man, the video just came back up of the ATF agent who couldn't disassemble a Glock. Oh god, I love that video. Oh, the absolute best video of that one is when Grantham takes like 12 Glocks and is like, let's see how many we can disassemble before the video ends. And he's like, well, fuck, we ran out of Glocks.
Okay.
He went through
Jesus fucking Christ.
11 or 12 and he's just like, oh, fuck, we ran out of Glocks. And it's just like, so they're like, well, put them back together. Like, why don't you just put it back together, take it apart, put it back together, take it apart. See how many times you can fucking do that.
Behind me, isn't it?
When
God damn it. All they can hear is Windigoon.
Yes,
watching
thank
a
you.
metric fuck ton of Creepcast and that whole thing and seeing that whole thing, it's behind me, isn't it?
It shows up all the time.
Oh, just wait until you get to Feed the Pig.
No,
Oh,
it's I'm playing Chernobylite, which is this horror survival
is that?
horror game. It's fun.
Okay.
And I'm currently going through a haunted hospital, and I can hear children laughter, which isn't always a good fucking thing, especially in a haunted
in
hospital.
creepy horror movies or horror games, no, the laughing children are never a good sign.
Yeah.
And it's broad fucking daylight, which makes it even worse. That's how you know a good horror, because they make daylight scary. I'm a greedy bastard, and I want all the gold, the shinies. So I'm gonna go through this motherfucker.
And see, Mitch, for that whole thing, I don't think they could necessarily go after a bat. Like, we know they can go as small as a child. So the bats would probably be too small.
I don't think it would be.
Well, the frickin' face hugger's bigger than the average bat anyways. And for what that thing has to put the embryo.
I was thinking of the hilariousness of a xenomorph incubating in a penguin.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
But then you take and you put it on the other side of the spectrum. Could you imagine like a xenomorph incubating in like a cassowary?
But you know what get me about the entire situation? So they only have a limited number of eggs because unless you have a queen xenomorph, they're fucked.
By
From
definition of any animal that breeds in a hive situation where there is a queen involved, if there is no queen somewhere in the egg, a queen would be.
no,
Yeah, they will develop a queen.
Yes.
No, and no, it won't because
Well, it depends if they are mature hive structure, they will develop.
Yes.
No, not the xenomorphs don't work like that. The xenomorphs like a queen has to be born. It has to be a specific egg, and like they'll know when it's a queen because it'll be different. Like it's just fucking how they work.
Yes.
Like they can't like a regular alien wouldn't just be eventually a queen will be formed. Someone will take the queen's place. No,
that is
queen, not for xenomorphs.
That isn't what we're saying.
My thing is
there will always be okay, let me explain how
okay.
Try to explain again. There will always be one of those eggs in existence to be fertilized should the queen die. The queen will keep it from being fertilized until the point that she can no longer defend the egg.
Or needing to expand out and create new colonies of them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's how species like that continue to exist. Otherwise, the species would no longer exist.
They can survive in space. Like they don't actually breathe.
If there is no queen to continue propagating the species,
okay, I'm at the top of this.
The last one die.
All right, I'm at the top of this damn creepy ass motherfucking hospital. First motherfucker moves is getting shot.
It's one of the reasons why Ripley specifically wanted to die when she discovered that she was
carrying a queen.
Because she knew she was carrying a queen. She was pretty confident that it was the last queen. And what do you know? The folks from Weyland-Yutani knew it was the last queen too. So they tried to clone her.
They cloned her and the queen.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense.
Well, that's why they had so many misfires in the cloning process.
Mm-hmm.
No. All right, let me explain. And when they took her DNA, they took it from a sample pre-queen.
No,
they did, and that still doesn't fuck with her genetics. Her genetics.
No, they took it from a sample taken from the smelting facility. And she was taken by the queen before the ship crashed there.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have fucked with her genetics.
Look, it's a movie.
Having a baby wouldn't mess with your genetics.
Okay, we're going to stop because you guys have to remember as well.
It's a movie.
Well, not just it's a movie. it's science fiction, more into science fantasy.
Yeah.
So not everything is going to go
1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Really,
Kinda
making
weird,
fun
though.
of. Oh, xenomorph with a moose.
Oh god, T-Rex. A xenomorph T-Rex
That's going
would be a
further down the spectrum than what would be funny, in my opinion.
no. Mr. Scott said that.
Yeah, I know, I'm just-
Xenogorilla, Xenorhino, Xenomoose. At that point in the franchise, the writing was getting sloppy. Yes.
Oh yeah, they were looking to try to find a way to end it, and they've been trying
Shit,
to.
Ripley wanted to die in the third. She didn't want to do it in the third one.
Yeah,
Sigourney Weaver. She didn't want to do it. That's why Ripley died. Because technically, they were. If she would have lived, they were going to do like a shit ton more sequels, and she was just done with it.
And she still ended up doing another sequel.
Mhm.
Pretty much. Maybe 2 years later, but yeah,
After she had done some other work, so that she was
it's behind me, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay.
so that she was no longer Here, please find another way to say that.
I keep hearing like tiny shit.
I'm now waiting for him to
This-
say, this whole thing seems rather Lovecraftian.
Yeah,
You know-
right. Or even better, for him to come up with a freaking Jeff Goldblum impression.
Oh my god. These damn bad guys.
Life finds a way.
No, we're talking about the Wendigoon
How does
bad Jeff
nobody
Goldblum
say that
impression.
line right?
Been too many years
Wendigoon-
since I've watched Jurassic Park, so
Agree.
Even when Wendigoon does his Jeff Goldblum impression, when he does that line, he does it wrong.
I haven't seen that movie in a trillion years, and
I absolutely love Jurassic Park.
yeah.
Anytime
What say
I can watch it. Jurassic Park and Jaws.
when Tier last watched Jurassic Park, they were actually filming it, and they were filming. They were using real dinosaurs.
I'm not that old. Not compared to you, Methuselah. Oh shit!
I guess he found the.
He found what was following him.
Yeah, like once you get to a
No,
like,
no,
if any of you watch Creepcast, you'll get to a certain part and like you're just gonna have whole things of that of basically when you could have just been like, "Hello, it's me, Jeff Goldblum." It's so
Eventually, you're
terrible,
gonna
it's
have
funny.
dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour.
So,
That's it. I just need
when
to
are we
get
gonna
this
see the
thing
dinosaurs?
and get the fuck out of here.
Xeno octopus. I'd rather we
Xeno
have
pussy?
some small chance.
Just call it what it is and call it Cthulhu at that point.
Yeah.
So that's where Cthulhu went. Shit, technically, aliens is rather Lovecraftian. There's this infinite hard thing that we can't kill. It always keeps coming, no matter what we do. We can't wipe it out. It's rather
Well, there's
Lovecraftian
no
in a
guarantee
sense.
we can't do that.
You just keep the queen egg from being fertilized.
Yeah, Ripley did a great job of wiping them out. They just brought her back. Messy
because-
storytelling notwithstanding.
And then anyone
If you read some of the comics, there was a doctor that survived in a hive that started genetically experimental with them to increase their lethality because he believed he could control them, and eventually he succeeded. Not in
Yes,
controlling
yes,
them,
yes,
making them
yes.
lethal.
Without the oops.
It's here now. How do I fucking get to it?
You don't.
Jesus, I almost feel like for this stream I should have a teddy bear I can just sit on my fucking head for it with how Tears going about shit.
Right?
Look, I'm greedy, and I want to get the object and get the fuck out of here.
In this situation, Tier, the only one who's getting these references is Angela.
So
I'm going to have to start paying attention to this podcast. I don't know how I'm going to fit it into my schedule.
exactly.
Well, the only ones that you'd have, like, because you can do majority of them on Spotify or Apple podcasts or whatnot, but then you don't get to see the little antics and whatnot they do for posting on YouTube.
Like I have limited time. Like I have a shit ton I want to do, but limited time in a day.
24 hours just isn't enough sometimes.
It really isn't.
I could probably pull it off if my body didn't decide it needed to sleep periodically.
I know.
Will you get little enough sleep as it is? Always take the sleep.
I mean, there's a few YouTubers that I go to support, and I do the things that, obviously I just have them at a low volume in the background. I wouldn't mute their streams and then leave them on.
Now, if I could watch it at work while I'm at work, which I usually do, but not all the time because depending on where I'm stationed, I don't get reception on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do that.
Well, with quite a few of these things for that is unless you're looking at them live and whatnot, I think they're all available to where you can technically download them to where they'll stay on your device for like a few days or whatnot, so you can watch them without all the excess bullshit. Usually, I'm not 100% though.
Yeah, I have
I
YouTube
think
Red.
it also depends on. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it also depends on.
No, like I did that for a couple of Monkeys live streams when I was coming back from Africa, that I was able to download them in the YouTube app itself without this, because this was before YouTube Reds. This is back in 2017, and that whole thing, so I could listen to them at the whole thing. It's kind of like for what Netflix had, I don't know if they still do it. Like if you were to be using your iPad or your fucking cell phone or something, you can download like certain movies that'll stay like basically be in the RAM or it's like a temporary folder for like so many days.
Amazon Prime will do that.
Yeah, I think you actually have to have YouTube Red now.
That's hella gay.
Yeah.
Except for I can download YouTube videos without YouTube Red and have them as actual video files on my computer. Thinking about that.
Yeah, I have a program that will instantly download YouTube movies and turn them into MP4s or whatever I want. Like I told y'all, every time we watch a new fan film, I go and I download it.
Recast, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw what I put in the Never Watch Alone chat. So I'll just let you know now.
What?
I'm not gonna be able to be on the show this Thursday.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I have my appointment with my regular doctor in the morning, so my PT is scheduled right when the show is.
Okay. All right. Well.
Oh, those are long.
Yeah, most of them are like an hour or so long.
Nope. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Nope. Nope. Putting the joystick down. Putting the joystick down. Done.
I think you got scared.
Yup. Jump scare. Nope. Nope. Call me pussy. I don't care.
Let's see.
Otherwise, the only thing I got to do is
I am what I eat.
I might have to shit.
What?
You said you are what you eat, so I was like, shit.
No, he
Absolute
called me a pussy.
Absolute garbage, dude. You know you ain't been eating pussy in years.
Yeah, you're right. Neither you.
Like, at least I didn't go the exponentially meaner way.
All right, fine. Let's drop this line of conversation. I'm a pussy though.
Hey man, when it comes to certain things, I don't care. I'm a whole ass bitch.
I just heard the creature that I've been hunting speak behind me. And I'm like, nope.
See, I just don't get that.
Just
Okay,
it
there's
just come
there's
behind you too and be like, let me get that booty. I
That
won't
that's
sit.
Cody.
there were
I
a
like
couple
that one.
times in which one was it? The Evil Within. There were a couple of times they're like nope, 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 but
So back in the day, do y'all remember Resident Evil 3?
No.
I've
So
actually not run through the Resident Evil.
I know the gist
all
of
right,
it.
Exactly.
all right, so when Resident Evil 3 came out, me and my cousins had it. My cousins had it for Dreamcast, and I borrowed from them. Mind you, I'm playing this game. I'm about 14, 15, maybe a little older.
Oh god,
Playing this game.
are you pulling a fucking meat canyon to where it's like you had to call your mom in, so it's like not that
No,
you want her to
watch
No,
watch,
no.
but you just needed someone to be there because it was scary to you.
No, no. Hold on. Now I'm home by myself, and I'm playing this game, and I just hear stars. So I'll call my cousins and them, like, so they listening to me go, oh shit, oh fuck. My aunt is over there dying and laughing because he hear me shit. Because again, you have the giant tower monster fucking chasing you. Shit, fuck, shit, motherfucker. Nope. Turn left there. Fuck, I turned right. It's a dead end. I'm fucked. They dying laughing, and I'm over there like, I fucking hate all of y'all. I miss them. I miss shit like that.
Simpler times.
Yep.
Although I think I have
When I
half a
didn't have a
feeling I'm
care
gonna
in the
have to
world.
fucking contact a person I want a gun from because were supposedly shipping it out on the 21st, and here it is 5
Yo,
days
Prophet.
later, and it's still at fucking pre-shipment.
That sounds bad.
I mean, as long as I get the damn frame so I can find out whether or not it's like, okay, this thing's just going to get thrown into a box, or if I can turn it into a functioning gun. I still one of these days want to get a 1911 frame and slide and barrel and all that shit and have to work on fitting it myself. And what's up, Frosted?
Mr. Scott, waking up 4 a.m. to go work in a chicken coop where there's 7,000 chickens in a building. You start hearing chickens say your name and the shouts around you because you worked by flashlight.
Well, Mr. Scott, so in that situation, you were the chicken tender.
You're
But the question is, were you hot or mild?
afraid.
That's probably just going a little loopy from all of the airborne chemicals.
Hello, Mr. Scott. I'll play the blue game.
Hey, Frosted.
Did that chicken just talk? No, I did not.
Oh, Badger, I won a Glock 17 frame that was used as practice for laser engraving that they say should be a display piece or you use it for practice yourself. And I'm like, psh, it's a Gen 3 Glock. As long as there's enough there that's supposed to, or the stuff there that's supposed to be there is there, I'm gonna turn this bitch into a functioning gun. Now, if I have to add stuff back into the frame to try to give it some more rigidity, fuck it, why not? I'll make an ugly duckling.
The engraving they're doing is like grip and stuff like that. It's not gonna be. They're not gonna. I wouldn't think have pulled enough away from it to actually be like a. It's lacking rigidity and the like.
If anything, it would just be in the grip itself.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to do. Mr. Scott, the infinite clucking, you start to hear your name. So 1,000 chickens clucking, you'll eventually hear your name.
I always like a joke a buddy of mine told me, not really a joke, but it's always funny that people want to call chickens, it's like people want to use chicken as an insult when if you really look at it, like chickens aren't cowards. They are way too stupid for that.
Yeah, I've seen chickens fuck some shit up.
Chicken attack.
Go
We
chicken,
ended
go.
up. Okay, we had chickens when we moved into our house when I was a kid.
Mhm.
There were 4 chickens there. The landlord left them in our care. So they ended up being our chickens for the rest of their lives. And there were 4 of them. Then I had, my grandmother had a friend on the PTA who, her daughter did a project for the science fair where she hatched chickens from eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up with 2 chickens from that because there was no way that she and her family were keeping like 12 chickens. And 2 of our original chickens had died of heat stroke the summer before. So we had 4 chickens. One of them turned out to be a rooster.
Oh no!
And the landlord, basically, it was my rooster. My brother had the hen.
Oh, your brother didn't want the cock?
The landlord bought it from my grandmother for like $50 off our rent 1 month so that he could take it for the cock price. Without asking me or telling me or anything, just
that was a dick move.
So hey, we got this rooster and can get money off her. So there went my rooster. Yeah, right. So there went my rooster. And then we ended up with a stray that jumped over the fence and would crow in the morning because she thought she was a rooster. But she would also roost in our banana tree and lay eggs, and they would smash at the bottom of the banana tree.
Well, the nice thing about having chickens as well is you will not have ticks around because if they are more free range, they will destroy all the insects around that area, which is great.
We don't have a lot of ticks here to begin with.
No, like one of the guys we used to work with before, I think he quit, was just like, oh yeah, man, I want to, it's like get my whole thing done up. It's like for the building, it's like the house I'm going to have and everything. It's just gonna be me and my dog out in the woods. I'm like, you want to get chickens? And he's like, why? I'm like, because they will get rid of ticks. He's just like, this and that. And then our other coworker who does homesteading, he's like, no, dude, if you're going to be in an area like that, you want chickens to be free. It's like to be free range and whatnot that you take care of because they will decimate the fucking tick population. He's like, it's going to be me, my dog, and chickens.
Literally, yeah. The tick population.
And I shared the frame. I'll bring it up real quick. So on the streams, they can see it. Yeah, so like this is the one side. You see how they did some of the engraving. And the reason why I say it's going to be an ugly duckling is because when I go ahead and switch it, come on, bring the thing up and go to the other side.
Oh yeah, it's
It's a
basic grip etching.
yeah. And because of what it
I'll
was,
get an interesting texture to it.
yeah. Because they said some of the one panels might be a little thin, which is like in the side, and it's like, that's kind of a big whatever. I know not everyone likes the Glocks and that whole thing. The PSA daggers are pretty good for the grip angle. Honestly, if you can even get like a either full frame or stripped frame for a polymer 80, their grip angle is closer to like a M&P or basically a non-Glock. Glock angles aren't that bad.
I like holding a Glock, especially with the local gun shop had on their rental wall one that had the competition shooter grip.
Oh, where it's got
And I can like two finger that. I can hold the Glock with the thumb and my middle finger and fire it and not lose my grip.
to where it's got all the extra texturing.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive texturing, and you're not losing a hold of this gun. You're not losing control of it or anything. I don't like shooting a Glock because I've got big hands. And I shoot a Glock, my hands get cut up.
That's how it happens for some.
Out.
Slide catches me every time.
Out.
Mm.
But they've got newer generations with the more aggressive beaver tail too. I've just not gotten the feel for those. Gen 3 G19, getting used to the grip angle. Yeah, I love holding a Glock. I love the feel of the grips and everything. The problem is, as soon as I fire it, that action is cutting me.
See, I had to. My biggest thing I wasn't a fan of it for a lot of them is the finger grooves because my right hand is not normal, considering the fact I've broken the middle and the ring finger, so they kind of go away from each other.
Whoops.
It's because I didn't have the middle finger reset when I freaking broke it originally. Like I should have had them re-break it to set it. But I was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. Well, son of a bitch, I know I had the fucking... the pictures for the G26 I made. Where the fuck did they go?
Been a lot of dry fire practice. Yeah. Oh, I'm quite comfortable with my VP9.
That's like I can bring this one up, and this was the 26 I made based off the 26 frame I won. To where I got to put together a Glock slide, and they're actually relatively easy. Nope. Click on the damn. There we go. Jesus fuck. I'm trying to resize shit and for how big the picture is, you'd think it'd be a bit clearer, but apparently it doesn't do. Oh, okay, that actually looks better on the stream than it does on mine.
I bet, guys. Checking the toaster. I'm listening.
Me $20 and I'll break it for you.
Nah, I do that whole thing that I try to get halfway decent with a bunch of different guns.
I like basically being able to pick up any gun and be functionally competent and moderately accurate.
Okay, Badger, you don't need to trade in your PO7 for the new PO9 Nocturne. You keep the PO7 and you get the PO9 Nocturne as well. Oh, there was no movie reviewed tonight, Mr. Scott, because we did the movie last weekend, so it alternates to where in between. So that way I wasn't just doing movies because I was getting kind of burnt out on that. So now it alternates. So next week we'll be watching Ghost Rider. Unless you're talking about what was watched on Frosted's Discord. Yeah. So mine
which
is
was something else for sure.
Yeah, my channel for that I after a few things was like, yeah, we're gonna do the every other weekend type thing, so it gives a little bit of that, and I don't feel like I'm trying to get burnt out on that. I still need to do some more for thumbnails for Talking to the Void, but I think I'm getting better now for the last two I've done for like World Trade Center, and honestly, the Weatherman was the funnest one.
Mhm. I love that he came in and heard all the talk about guns, was trying to figure out which movie went with the guns that we were.
Real life.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's just a lever gun that is used in the Ghost Rider movie, and a couple of the like a Glock or Beretta because of cops and whatnot.
Trying to, is it a lever gun, the one he uses at the end? There's been too long and I was thinking a shotgun, but I guess it could have been a lever gun.
It could be.
Memory going back long ways.
I've never seen it, so I'm actually pretty excited.
Well, I had a copy before the fire.
Oh.
So I had a copy of Weatherman before the fire too.
It is a shotgun because it is the Winchester 1887.
Okay.
Yep.
1890 lever shotgun.
No, not 1890, 1887.
Yeah, and I was reading Mr. Scott's comment.
Yeah, because there were 4 guns used in that movie. And the only one Nicolas Cage's character uses is that shotgun. And I forgot
All
about
right,
that.
I'm back.
Oh, you were gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Because then the next
You wonder
movie,
why I was so silent.
the next movie to where Nicolas Cage uses
We don't
movies
question small blessings.
is Bangkok Dangerous. Then he's got one he uses in Knowing. I still liked his character in Kick-Ass.
Wasn't he like the father of that one psycho girl?
He was Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing
I
is
know.
for that movie going like between it and its comic book, like the guy who in the movie plays his former partner was a cop in the actual comic book, but in the comic, Big Daddy isn't a former cop. He's actually just an owner of a comic book store that took his daughter from his as like basically ran off with his daughter from his ex-wife because the cop in question that's the partner is actually his wife's new husband, if I remember correctly. And basically for the whole thing was that he basically wanted to kind of in a way make his child a superhero. So he went through that whole thing, but every superhero needs a villain. So he just looked up who the worst mobster was.
I haven't seen Kick-Ass or any of the Kick-Asses.
They're not bad. It's actually funny because they upped her age because it was Chloe Moretz Grace that they had to play Hit Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I
And-
saw.
And she's actually supposed to be like 4 to 6 years younger in the comic. Like she's supposed to
I know.
quite literally be a 10-year-old.
I know I saw the movie. I have absolutely no memory of it.
I'd be willing to do that one because even though he's not the main character or even one of the main characters, I still find it a fun movie. It's a dumb movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah, we watched one where he was literally just a side character that only had like what 20 minutes of film time.
Currently no, because we haven't done any where he wasn't the main character.
Yeah, we did. Well, he was the main villain in the one with David Caruso.
Oh yeah. That's what we went with. He was either the main character or the main villain.
Well, there was the one where racing the moon or whatever, where he
Yep.
wasn't really the main character, but he was definitely the best supporting actor.
Yeah.
And
'Cause,
then
then there was the one where they were doing the con artist stuff.
in Birdie, he
To where
wasn't the
he
main one in Birdie.
No, he was the main character in Birdie.
Yeah, he was.
No, the guy that played Birdie was the main character in Birdie.
If the guy that played Birdie was the
No,
main
Matthew.
character in Birdie, he'd had exponentially more screen time.
He did. If Lily followed his story in his life, he was the central character.
They followed
Like-
more of Cage's character.
No, it followed Birdie's character because again, you don't meet Nicolas Cage until like Birdie's what older.
I want to know what movie you watched, Tier, because
Birdie.
we didn't see him much older or younger.
No, when you go through Birdie's life up until a certain point, then you meet Nicolas Cage's character. All right, so the movie is telling the story of Birdie. It's a flashback story. It starts off when they're in the frame device is them in the hospital and Birdie being catatonic or pretending to be catatonic, and then it tells Birdie's life story up until the point where they're at the asylum or the hospital ward. But it follows Birdie. Birdie is the main character.
I'm saying fuck it for the rest of it. And I don't think we've gotten that far to where Nicolas Cage and Christian Hayden had been in a movie together. I think that's one of the newer ones for him.
Okay. Quick jump pad.
Because I don't even know which one that was. But I think it's one of the newer ones.
All right.
Because after Ghost Rider, we'll have next, then the National Treasure 2.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Wait, they're stealing the Declaration of Independence again?
Yes.
Okay. You think they learned the first time?
And then after that, it's Bangkok Dangerous.
They're always doing Declaration of Independence.
You'd think they'd secure it after one or two times.
You would think that. Right. All right. Go back up to the ship.
Do that. I got to bring up the. Most sequels aren't as good as the first. Frosted.
I don't know. I think the second Terminator and the second Ghostbusters was phenomenally better than the first.
I would still consider the first Ghostbusters better than the second.
I mean, fair point. I still like the second one a lot better than I like the first one. It has my favorite line in that entire movie. It's true, sir. This man has no dick.
That was the first one.
Yes.
It was?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
because that was with Walter Peck, who also
Yes,
paid the
Peck was in the second one too.
If he was, it was for barely any time frame.
Peck wasn't in this.
Because the guy who played Peck also played the pompous ass lawyer, or not lawyer, but news person in the first two Die Hard movies.
Nicholas over here. It's true, sir. This man has no dick.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass
Just
hysteria.
there, yeah. Do you think Cage could have done a Mission in Action reboot? Frosty Glass points out the Empire Strikes Back was better than the first one.
That's why, like I said, if you'd paid attention to what I said very few sequels are as good as or better than the original. Well, but are as good as the original. Most aren't.
No, it's very much an exception.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and the Terminator 2 can be argued for most people because a lot of folks that are like tears in my age of that generation saw the second Terminator before they ever saw the first one. It's kind of like that whole thing of hearing a cover of a song and whether or not you're going to like the cover more than the original. It usually goes depending on which one you heard first. But like, I consider personally the second Expendables movie better than the first. Because the first tried to be half joke, half serious, and you can do that. Just, I want to say it was Stallone was directing that one. He just didn't know how to blend them properly. Troll 2.
Troll 2 was significantly better than the first
Nilbog.
one. It's goblins spelled backwards. They're eating her.
And then they're gonna eat me.
Oh my
God.
Troll 2, Troll Electric Boogaloo.
You can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
That's like, I'll say a movie that I think was as good, but it also went in a different direction than the original for how it was, would be Aliens. While Alien was a suspense horror thriller, Aliens was more of an action horror thriller. I don't think thriller should be in there necessarily.
Aliens was an action movie. Alien was a horror.
Yeah, that's why I said. Well, both were. I would still say both were horror, but the first Alien was supposed to be more about suspense than it was necessarily about just being horror. Yeah, some people, like Badger said, will pull up the second evil, she'll pull up Evil Dead 2 because it's still a horror, but it's a horror comedy.
Evil Dead 2 is hilarious.
But then Evil Dead 3 or Army of Darkness is just an action movie.
Actually, it's a horror comedy.
Mm.
It's a horror comedy.
Evil Dead 2 is, yes. Evil Dead or Army of Darkness is an action comedy.
Yeah.
It's still a horror comedy.
It's exponentially less horror.
It still counts as a horror comedy. It's like Bubba Hotep is technically a horror comedy.
I still have yet to see Bubba Hotep.
Really?
I haven't seen that.
Bubba Hotep is hilarious.
I don't know if I've seen it or not. Wow.
I mean, I still say one of my favorite Bruce Campbell movies for like a B movie is the My Name is Bruce. And that is quite literally to where Bruce Campbell plays Bruce Campbell.
So Bruce Campbell playing Bruce Campbell as Bruce Campbell.
Yes, because he gets invited to a town where he's, known as a B movie horror star and whatnot. But he always ends up doing it, so he should know how to take care of it. So he goes there because he's getting paid for it, kind of tries to teach him the whole ropes and everything of like what the movies would be, and then
it did it again. It fucking did.
Literally, it turns out all the shit that happened in his movies is happening
every fucking time.
But yeah, it had that whole thing of being like, oh, it's a horror movie. It's like, all my movies are B movies. They go down this route. So it's like, oh shit, this shit's actually real.
I'm not actually a monster fighter.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there's the man with the screaming brain. That's always a fun one.
Yeah. I haven't seen Bruce Campbell do a serious or a big budget movie ever.
If I remember correctly, well, it's like now Bruce Campbell's retired for the most part, other than like maybe some small cameos. But he has done more serious roles, I want to say, if memory serves me correctly.
I've never seen him in any. I've seen him in like roles on the silver screen. I've seen him in like Briscoe County Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Ithacles.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it'd be more like that, where he's doing more of a couple of the TV roles that he got a little more of the seriousness. Let's go over here and
trying to pull up the IMDb, and of course it went absolutely psychotic on me. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Pizza Papa.
He wasn't Doctor Strange, and he wasn't Mom, wasn't he? But he had a bit role. He was a voiceover.
I mean, he's been in a character in all three of the Sam Raimi freaking Spider-Mans.
He's another Watcher.
The dangers of having a chainsaw for a hand from Ash versus Evil Dead.
Well, with him in that one, it was basically because it was the kind of an agreement for, not necessarily an agreement, but Sam Raimi. It was just something he wanted to. That's like the car that was in Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness is also the car in the first Spider-Man movie, because that car plays a small, at least a minor role in every movie Sam Raimi has done or makes an appearance.
Okay, so he played a character in the TV series The Librarians for one episode. Showed up in one episode of Psych. He played Ronald Reagan in Fargo.
Really?
Apparently, he was in the movie Touch the Top of the World.
Sam Max and Burn Notice.
Well, Touch the Top of the World is about the first blind man to fully climb Mount Everest.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so he was in Oz the Great and Powerful.
As the Munchkin? Tell me he was a Munchkin.
Winky Gatekeeper.
Oh,
I was hoping he was a Munchkin.
Let's see.
Oh shit, he had a role, or at least a small role, in The Majestic with Jim Carrey.
He was the mayor in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yep.
He was the maitre d' in Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
He was a voice actor in The Ant Bully.
Oh yeah, he has done a fuck ton of voice acting.
Alien
So
Apocalypse. Have
He's
I
the
seen
snooty
that?
usher in Spider-Man 2.
Tour guide in Spider-Man 2.
The video, he's the tour guide for all of the voices in the Spider-Man 2 or in the Spider-Man games.
Oh, the games. City
Yes.
Usher in Spider-Man 2. Pork Piggler voice in Duck Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers in the 42nd and a half century.
Let's see. He was the ring announcer in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
How did I not catch that?
because he's the one who says the Amazing Spider-Man. The guy's like, and McGuire's like, no, it's the Human Spider.
He was in Time Cop. Gene the Genie in Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Surgeon General
Yes.
of Beverly Hills from Escape from L.A.
Yeah, he literally had a Bruce Campbell plaster face. It was fucking funny.
He also plays in the first 2 Maniac Cop movies.
John Loftmore from Waxworks 2.
He was with Robert Zadar.
I don't know Robert Zadar right offhand.
Robert Zadar had what is cherubism, so he had a really distinct look. I'll pull up a picture of him.
Well, no,
so you
I don't
can
know what
really-
movie you're talking about.
Maniac Cop.
Okay. Yeah, he was in the first and second one as
Robert
Jack
Zadar.
Forrest. Oh yeah,
And
that's
a
still,
bunch of shorts before all
Oh,
of
yeah.
that, too.
like that's the funny part is he was only supposed to be a small role in Burn Notice, but the fans of Bruce Campbell were the ones who actually got to bring him, or who had his role be expanded.
Quite the regular on that one.
Mhm.
And while Burn Notice is not it's a dumb fun show.
Right, there it is. Robert Zadar.
Wrong thing.
He has tribism.
Robert Zadar, the only man with a bigger chin than Bruce.
Yeah. He had a distinct look, and it was just distinct.
That's how it is for some folk.
Okay, is Briscoe County Jr. in The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.?
Yes, he was the lead. He was the lead.
He also
I know,
played
yes.
several different characters in Xena Warrior Princess and
He was
Hercules
Otto-
Journey.
he was-
The
It was
Legend Tunes.
Autolycus, the king of thieves.
Otto Ithacles.
He also played a couple of demigods. And then
He made an appearance on one episode of The X-Files.
And then he was also the main character in Jack of All Trades. Oh yeah, that's right. He was in the movie Sky High.
Yes, he was the coach.
Yep.
Sidekick.
Oh shit. He was the Surgeon General in Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these are your real breasts.
He is just a fun actor for so many things.
Yes, he is an amazing actor.
Oh shit, he was supposed to be in the original Quick and the Dead, but those scenes were deleted.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the original Quick and the Dead is a... Wait, no, this wasn't the original Quick and the Dead. This is the remake. Because the original is a Sam Elliott movie.
He won the audition for the lead role in The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. by grabbing the back of his shirt collar and flipping himself. He then had to repeat the trick at every callback, totaling 5 or 6 flips.
Okay, yeah, I admit that was kind of yeah.
Yeah, because the Quick and the Dead's based off a Louis Lamar book.
Based off what?
A Louis Lamar book.
Louis L'Amour book.
Oh, Louis Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He was a prolific writer.
The original one stars Sam Elliott.
Appeared in every project of Sam Raimi's, including both TV shows until the mid-90s when his scenes were cut from The Quick and the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Recorded a full-length commentary for Bubba Hotep in character as Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
He's in From Dusk Till Dawn too.
That movie was mid.
I've still never seen it.
Oh, I'm talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. It was mid.
The first one's
Oh.
But
he was considered for the role of Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park. That went to Jeff Goldblum.
I think Jeff Goldblum should have played that entire role like he was the thug from the first
I hate you, Rich Cunts.
Yeah, Death Wish movie. Jesus, my fucking mind went out of there.
His autobiography is titled If Chins Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor.
I do have that book, and from what I've read of it, because I've lost track where I was on it, it's actually not a bad book.
I hate you, Rich Cunts.
Considered to be the best reverse actor in Hollywood. Reverse acting is a film technique frequently used by director Sam Raimi, where action scenes are filmed in reverse of how they will actually appear in the film. He's
Yes,
an ordained minister.
It's not surprising.
Really?
And yes, Frosted
And
Dust
officiated weddings.
from Dusk Till Dawn did have Tarantino in it, but he also gets killed. He's also like one of the first to get killed. He also does drink alcohol off Salma Hayek's foot.
Well,
After it's
you know
been
he has
rained
a
on.
fucking foot fetish.
Yeah.
I can't name one movie that he does not show feet. It's almost like his signature style.
Mm-hmm. But other than from what I'm aware of, Pulp Fiction, every movie he directs or that he stars in, yeah, it's that, and I shouldn't say stars, but like has a spot in it's Pulp Fiction and Sukiyaki Western Django are the only
You know what I
movies I'm
realized?
aware of that he doesn't die in.
All right, so every director has their preferred actor. With Helena Bottom Carter for Tim Burton, and for him Uma Thurman. She was in a lot of his work.
Yeah, like they
It wasn't. What the hell?
if you pay attention, the Kill Bill idea is kind of brought up in Pulp Fiction by Uma Thurman. They had talked about
Helena Bottom Carter married to Tim Burton at one point.
Plausibly, but they had discussed it beforehand.
Yes.
Uma Thurman and Tarantino did.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. That's
And
probably why
honestly,
she was in
for
a lot
more
of his
things,
shit.
it seems like with Burton, he's just trying to get Johnny Depp to nail his wife for him. I mean, other than a quaint few movies, they are almost always a couple.
Man, they would together for 13 years. Huh. Man, he's old.
Who? Tim Burton?
Tear.
Hello.
Sorry.
Who?
It did again, didn't it?
No, but when you asked the question, you just didn't respond. You're like, damn, he's
Can
old.
you hear me?
And yes, we can hear you.
Nope, you cannot hear me. What the fuck?
Yes,
Son
we
of a
can
bitch.
hear
Oh,
you.
He can't hear us. Can you hear us now?
I can hear y'all now. Fucking hate Discord.
Okay, we heard you.
Yeah.
So whenever it does that, it just goes dead silent. It'll be in the middle of a conversation. I'm like, can you hear it? And then I'll switch back and Discord shit the bed.
I asked you who you were talking about.
Oh, Tim Burton. Tim Burton's old as
Okay.
fuck.
Yeah, he is. And yes, Helena Bonham Carter is his wife.
She's only like 58. He's like 66.
That's less than 10 years.
Yeah, that is less than 10 years.
Yeah, for us, I can't say. Tarantino tends to be more of all style. It's mostly based upon the actors.
Tarantino trades on his name.
Well, he trades
Now,
on his name. He does kind of copy a lot of other stuff, and he's an edgy boy, if we're just going to be honest about it.
yeah, he does have an edge to him. I will accept that.
Because of the whole fact that he's just willing to have the graphic violence, willing to typically have the massive amounts of slurs in there.
At least he isn't Michael fucking Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay is basically explosions. That's why, like, I still have yet to see the second the newest Ninja Turtles live action ish movies. The first one is mediocre at best, but I know people are like, well, it's like, but you have to remember it was produced by Michael Bay. He didn't direct it. So there wasn't near as many explosions.
Even if it was just produced by Michael Bay, he still had some influence in it.
Welcome to Hollywood. That's how that shit works, Tier.
Yeah.
Look at how they fucked up a whole bunch of different movies.
Yeah.
Or TV shows. But it's been almost 2 hours, so I think we're going to call it here.
Oh no.
So, yeah, tomorrow is
Oh yeah.
Tier has the Monday Minions,
Mm-hmm.
and then Angela will be with Mr. Adam on
AJ's
Retro Arcade. I keep wanting to say classic. So I could say he's trying just to keep it classy.
Stay classy.
And obviously he has his Thursday, which Angela won't be able to go through. Saturday. Who's the guest this Saturday?
Kafki.
Kafki?
Mhm.
So it's going to be super hyper.
Yep.
And it's is it an art stream? Will?
Next week's game stream.
Game stream?
Next 2 weeks.
And then we'll be reviewing Ghost Rider. And then don't forget that not this week, but next week, Monday, is Labor Day.
Yes.
Oh.
And this one actually has nothing to do with veterans. So,
I had forgotten that.
yeah. So it's that whole thing of like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's like, so this is the one where you don't have to worry about trying to thank anyone for their service or any of that shit. It's like, no, this one's actually for the American working populace, which is like 98% of us.
Mm-hmm.
Got my thumbs
If
up.
you work, thank yourself.
Yeah, if you want to, if you think it'd be cool to have a barbecue, go out and have a barbecue. Fuck them.
And if somebody's complaining about the climate effects of your barbecue, double down.
Oh, and if they try to go the whole thing of like saying that they respect animals, so that's why they're vegan, you can call them retarded and tell them that, you know, herbivore is not really a thing for many animals. It's typically a sliding scale of how they're going to get that protein.
Yep.
If that involves eating other animals, herbivores are just as omnivores we are.
Well, let's say if they complain about you cooking meat and say they're vegan and everything, slap another steak on the grill.
But we're going to get out of here.
Mhm.
So have a good week. And I will hopefully have a new frame and see how this thing goes with the VA, of how my claim can go. So
Bye,
later,
y'all.
everyone.
Good night.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.